what's up? My name is Talius Peck. I'm a 20-year-old, I guess, semi-professional soccer player right now, but I'm trying to play professionally. I play as a right back. I don't currently have a team because of the coronavirus pandemic. And this is kind of my story. So, this is going to be my story. That's what this YouTube channel is for. It's going to kind of document my journey. And, yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting. And it'll be a lot of fun. So, I'm getting attacked by bugs. So I started playing soccer when I was about 4 years old. I didn't really get super serious about it until I was about 15, sophomore in high school, when I tried out for the varsity team in high school, and I ended up not making it, and I was a bench warmer on JV, because I was tiny and not very good, which really ticked me off. So spent a whole summer training, and came back to school, trained with some of the varsity guys before the soccer season started, and I ended up making varsity. I started every single game, and I started every game from there, even into my senior year. That was honestly, I'm so thankful for my high school experience with soccer, because we had a lot of, I went to a boarding school in Sedona, Arizona, so we had a lot of international kids. Really exposed me to like a bunch of facets of the game, and it made it really challenging when we would play against each other. Honestly, playing against other teams wasn't the hardest, because we had some insane players, but it was a lot of fun for sure. So in high school, I actually started as a winger. Then I played as a center defensive mid my senior year. And then once I left, I ended up going to college at the University of Maine at Presque Isle, which is a D3 school in like the tip-top corner of Maine, right next to Canada. I didn't tour the school, which was kind of a mistake, but it was still a really good experience, and I'm very thankful I went, even though I honestly was kind of miserable while I was there. But it was really a good experience. I mean, we traveled all over New England. We played games against a bunch of different colleges. We had really good athletic trainers. We had nice facilities, and it was a really good experience. It was a really good step up in level too. I mean, it wasn't the highest level, but it was definitely very physical. I think that was the thing that really shocked me a lot about it. It was a big change of pace, but it was a good experience. But overall, I wasn't happy there. I didn't feel like I was gonna progress into a soccer, like a much better soccer player, just a bigger and stronger one and an angrier one. So I decided to leave at the end of my first semester, where I moved back to San Francisco. I rehabbed a sprained ankle I had, and I started playing pickup and making my way into the soccer scene there. It was, I mean, looking back on it, it wasn't the best I could have done, but I mean, can't change that. So eventually I started playing like in a men's league. Then I started playing in the San Francisco City League. And then halfway through the season in the City League, I ended up going to an AX Soccer Tours tryout, which is like a combine company that brings professional teams to watch you play. I mean, you have to pay to be there, but from that, I actually got invited to a residency program in Denmark, in Ikast. It's where FC Midtjylland plays. We used FC Midtjylland facilities, which was really really cool. So we ended up, so we would train every day with the school we were at, and then a few times a week I would have nightly trainings with a team in the 4th or 5th division. I can never remember. And I would also train with a 4th division team's reserves. It was a really good experience, but I should have made more of it. But I mean, it's all looking back on the past, 2020 hindsight. But I did improve a lot. I learned a lot about the game. I had a really good time, and I came back to the States, moved back to San Francisco, tried to play for us, like one of the top teams in the City League again. And the season ended up getting canceled before I could play because of the coronavirus pandemic. So I got like one preseason game in. I trained with them a bunch of times, but before the season really started, I wasn't able to play. So uh, came back to Maine where my mom lives. Just waiting out the pandemic with her, and just waiting to kind of see what comes next. So like on the horizon right now, I'll probably be going to Australia in December. I might try. I'm trying to go back to the school I was at in Denmark, just so I can train every day, have nice facilities, and just stay there for a little bit. Then go to Australia. But if that doesn't work out, I might go to New Zealand. I don't know. And honestly, I'm thinking of trying to just email a bunch of teams with the crap highlight tape I have and just say, hey, can I come practice with your squad? I'll show up anytime. But I don't know. I'm going to make it work though. And hopefully in the next year or two, I'll be able to sign professionally. That's kind of what this YouTube channel is. It'll be a challenge to myself to sign professionally and like document all of it, document my whole journey. And yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting. So my plans are for this channel for now is it's just mostly going to be my training sessions and then me talking about what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll make some tutorials on something. I don't think I'm the best expert at anything really. I'm still learning a lot, but I'm going to figure it out and it'll be great. Heard about my soccer career a little bit. I'll just give a little life story because I think it's interesting to know like about people's lives, and I guess I'll share mine. So also I'll just give a little bit of my life story so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from and I guess my life, because I think that's more interesting. First video is gonna be a little rough, but so I was born in Maine, but I grew up in California. I'm a little California boy. I don't know if you can tell by the Vans, but but I so when I was about 2 years old, after traveling around with my mom, who was a nanny and a massage therapist, and went to St. Thomas to work with me and California and Arizona. When I was about 2, we ended up staying in California because we were supposed to fly back to Maine to come back and live with my grandma, but the day our flight was scheduled was actually 9/11, so we ended up getting stuck in California, and we ended up sleeping on some friends' couches when I was 2. We were homeless for a little bit. We eventually we started living in a couple different homeless shelters for families, which were, from my memory, relatively nice. And then from there, I mean, my life has gotten a lot better since then, I would say. We got our own housing in Alameda after bouncing around San Francisco to different like homeless shelters and assisted housing and whatnot. We ended up getting our own housing, government funded housing, but our own apartment finally when I was about, I want to say 6, 7, in Alameda, which is just across the bay from San Francisco for people who don't know. And then from there, I went to school there. I ended up going to we ended up moving to northeastern California in the Sierra Nevada mountains in Portola, California. We moved there for a little bit, which was honestly a culture shock. Like I had no memory of living in small towns. My whole life I grew up in cities, and so we moved to this tiny town in Northern California where like it snows. I'd barely seen snow before in my life. Like it was a wild experience. But it was good. I mean, I made some friends, still talk to some of them. So definitely a good experience. And then from there, we ended up driving across the country. We drove from California to Maine so my mom could take care of my great-grandfather because he had dementia. So we ended up living there for a few years, and then by then I was about 13 or 12, 13, and my mom was gonna send me to a boarding school because it was just very difficult for me to live with her while she was taking care of my great-grandfather. and I mean, I agreed to. I felt the need to get out of there, kind of. I mean, I was still a kid, so I don't know. But so I was actually gonna go to a boarding school in New Hampshire, but it fell through, and that's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me, to be honest. Because I ended up going to the Verde Valley School in Sedona, Arizona, which is like, I mean, it's kind of like a second home to me because I mean, my mom went there as a kid. A lot of people she knows and like people I consider basically family went there or worked there, and like there's a massive community, and it's some place that really embraced me and accepted me and let me be who I wanted to be, which was amazing. Um, and so I ended up going there for all 4 years of high school. Like I made some of the best friends I'll ever have, and I mean they're basically siblings to me at this point. I mean, they are. I mean, yeah, they're like my brothers and sisters. So like, I love them so much. And it was a also. I know you guys are watching, so shout out. I love you, Kevin, Taryn, Kingston, Brawl, Anise. Love you guys, Sarah, Chloe. The yeah, love you guys. Um, so it was a really good experience, honestly. It was amazing. I mean, I got to explore Sedona, Arizona. We played teams all across the state. I traveled all across the state for field trips and stuff. Rock climbed, mountain biked, did a bunch of amazing stuff. It was incredible. Um, and then from there, uh, oh yeah. So from there, I mean, then I go into my whole journey about soccer that I talked about a little bit earlier, and that's like, yeah. After that, like soccer has been my life, and I'm trying to make it my life. So, yeah, that's my whole life story so far. I mean, left out a lot of details, but anyways, yeah. So my first training session on the channel is going to be pretty short because it's kind of late. There's a bunch of bugs, and I already trained this morning. So I'm just going to do a quick little wall workout, kind of explain what I'm doing a little bit. And so first thing I'm going to be doing is just some basic wall passing, right foot, left foot, just working on my touch, working on my passing. And then I'll work on some wall juggling, and some, like, this is a pretty big wall, so I'll just huck it up there to kind of simulate a lofted pass, but it's pretty bad because it's not the same weight or like speed. Anyways, but yeah, so I'll just show it off. Let's go. This is my wall juggling. Honestly, I'm not that good at it. I'm not about to pretend like I'm good, and I'm still working on it basically, but I've been improving, and yeah. To work on like taking down long balls down here. It's by no means perfect, but I'm not about to smack a long ball at this wall because there's windows and I can't afford to pay for a school's windows. So I just toss it up, work on bringing it down. It's a little light, doesn't really simulate a long ball, but it's the best I've got. So, you know, doing what I can. So honestly, this training session, not one of my best, not one of the ones I put the most effort in. I'm tired. I was gardening all day, trained a kid in the morning, did some training this morning. So, but yeah, it's just what I've filmed, and yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of juggling to finish it off, and then go home, eat, and go to sleep because I gotta wake up early tomorrow as well, and I'm getting eaten alive. I like to focus on tricks because I mean I can juggle. I still can't hit 1,000 juggles, which is a little disappointing. I think the best I've gotten is a couple hundred. I don't really count, but I need to be able to juggle for longer. I just lose focus. It's really dumb, but I've been working on it. But a lot of times when I end a training session, I just like to try to focus on like the juggling tricks because you know it's just fun to do, work on some new skills. But yeah, so that's kind of my training session. I'm just gonna finish juggling off camera, and deuces. I guess I'll see you for the next video. I'll get less awkward on camera eventually, I'm sure, but for now.